peace be upon him, I think has been maliciously slandered in being called a warlord. He actually did everything he could to avoid violence. And if you read Juan Cole's book, and I would recommend anybody who's serious about studying this to read Juan Cole's book. He's a great historian, American historian, and he wrote a book called Muhammad, Prophet of Peace Amidst a Clash of Civilizations. It's a beautiful book, and he makes an argument that I think is compelling. It's certainly the faith that I believe in. I didn't even believe in modern warfare because 90% of the casualties of modern war are civilians. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prohibited killing women, children, old people, non-combatants, religious people like priests and monks and rabbis, people that were actually represented the religion. Sven Lindqvist, who wrote the book History of Bombing, The History of Bombing, he actually in that book says that the Muslims it was the first community that actually put humane rules of engagement. And if you read Amir Abdul Qadir Jazairi, the great Algerian warrior who fought the French gave him the Legion of Honor, the Medal of Legion of Honor, and the Red Cross. The founder was inspired by this great mujahid, this man of jihad, because of his humane treatment of prisoners. And that's why at the Red Cross headquarters, there is a statue of Amir Abdul Qadir Jazairi next to the French founder of the Red Cross. So another really important book is a book written by Scott. It's called Are Muslims Distinctive? He's a professor of political science at UC Berkeley. He wrote a book, Are Muslims Distinctive? And he looked at the data and he showed that stable Muslim societies are actually they're less violent than stable Western societies. The levels of murder are much lower, the levels of crime, and that's because of Islam. It's not in spite of Islam. And how is it that there's over 10 million Coptic Christians they weren't wiped out? They're in Egypt. How is it possible that they survived? How is it possible that the Palestinian Christian community has been there since the Muslims have been there? How is that possible? If they were out there to just wipe out all these people, they could have forced them to become Muslim at the sword. They didn't, because the Prophet prohibited that.